you run down the side of the mountain. The bellows of the enraged Yeti following behind you, but they get more distance as you reach the base camp. Garrett is shivering in the hut. You're going to have to either leave your new expensive insulated shelter or take some time to get it down.
Taking that down
And
costs all of our money.
Yeah. So what I'm going to ask for you people is for some. I'm pinching some rules from Index Card RPG, which is great. So is everybody mucking together? You get to the bottom. Garrett's in the tent with 4 of the dogs, as advised by Andy. The mummy's there. He's just dumped the 2 large bodies of the crag cats on the floor because you just said drag them down to the bottom, so he did. So I'm going to request some DC 10 rolls for athletics. That's pretty good.
Right, I'll yell to the mummy, get Garrett and the shelter. Oh, excuse me, get Garrett and the shelter on the sled. Don't mind it, never mind about the crag cats, never mind about anything else. We need the dogs harnessed, the dog food on the sled, us on the sled, Garrett on the sled, and our posh new tent, and we'll leave everything else.
Yeah, so what are you doing about the baby Yeti?
Well, we have 2 teams now, so could we not load the crag cats and the baby Yeti onto the other sled?
Right, the problem that you're going to have is you have 2 teams of 5 dogs, and the sled requires 6 dogs to pull because they're both cargo sleds. So they're going to get an extra level of exhaustion.
Or inertia.
As long as we make it to the nearby town in one quick swoop without killing them, that'll do me.
Right, so if you run them, you can run the dogs at 3 miles per hour. Okay, they can reach it in 3 hours because they'll get exhaustion, a level of exhaustion, and that will slow them down. But you manage to get the tent all packed up and thrown onto the back of the sled. As you do, the voice of the Yeti echoes down the mountain a lot louder and closer than you were hoping. So if you're going, are you going to try and load the crag cats on as well?
How long would it take all of us to do it?
Well, they're quite large and heavy. So I was going to request a DC 10 roll, athletics-wise.
I think we should do it because we also have the help of a undead chap.
Right, so you get
Guess we're leaving the captain.
2 successes. Right, the way it works is that when you succeed at a check when you're trying to do effort, you do a D6 worth of effort. If you get a crit, you roll 2d6 and you have to. Usually it's a DC 10, so you got 2d6 worth of effort work there. So you've got 8. So you've getting you start loading them on, but the Yeti sounds close, and I'm just going to roll the countdown die. So the Yeti sounds close, so you've almost got them loaded on. Do you want to continue loading, or do you want to just call it a bad job?
What have we got on so far? I've got any of the cats on.
Yeah, you've got one of the cats on, but the roar sounds loud. And have you chucked the baby Yeti on as well?
We'll chuck the baby Yeti on and go. We'll leave the cat. That might slow it down if it's hungry. Although it's probably going to chase after the kid.
Right, the cat's left. Smother some blood round the cat's mouth.
Oh no! But wait! That's a brilliant idea, Brucey. Can we make it look like the cat killed the baby?
The headless cat sneaked up the mountain and then cut the baby's throat with a knife. So you're going to leave the baby Yeti there and try and stage a death scene. Is that what you're planning?
The big Yeti doesn't know its throat's cut.
Get a hold of the cat's.
Is that what you're planning? Is to try
and fake... shut round the baby's neck?
No. We've got one cat and a baby Yeti and Garrett and the tent on the sledge. Let's just go.
Right, so who is driving the other sled? Garrett can drive it, but he's got 2 levels of exhaustion. He's not in much of a fit state.
What skill is it to drive?
Animal handling.
Oh, anyone got animal handling?
Yes, and I'm shit at it.
Andy's doing one of the sleds, I presume, because you drove it here. Yeah. But like I said, the dogs can just about pull it, even though it's they're running short, but they get extra exhaustion, which means you're going to have to spend possibly 2 days in care clinic to recover.
Is it possible for me to drive it, but every minute I cast guidance on myself, so get an extra D4?
Yeah, absolutely.
Try that one.
Right. So cast guidance on yourself.
Yeah, share them up, please. Sorry, Richard.
Where you're looking up to God and saying, "How do you do this?"
Oh, Tempest, please aid me in my hour of need. And Tempest is like, "Look, I'm a war god, dude."
You want to run away. and maybe if you turn around, I'll give you a hand.
What was that, Dave?
Dwarven Valley's closer, and the Oars are favourite too.
Don't know where they are. That's the problem. We could be we don't know where in Dwarven Valley the dwarves are.
Yeah, you haven't actually been there yet. It's a long scar, and you're not sure where. Oh, look at those rolls. So with Andy, you would actually travel an extra mile, as would Bracy, because you got an 18 plus. So yeah, you managed to arrive there quite soon. You just hear a roar coming out of the snow, and as you do, you shout "mush mush," and the 5 dogs burst into speed. Behind you, are you looking back, or are you putting your head down?
I'm looking off the back of the sledge.
And as you look off the back of the sled, the Rossy's face bursts out, demolishes.
Maybe put some ranged undead down onto it.
Demolishes the tent, tears it apart, and throws the empty crate. Picks it up and throws it like paper as you whisk off. Yeah, just you shout mush, it bursts out behind you. It tears the tent up and picks up the empty crate, throws it like it was paper as you vanish into the snow, heading towards Caer Conig. Annoyingly, again, because Andy's driving, you go in an exact straight line directly towards Caer Conig without any deviation whatsoever. 2 amazing animal handling rolls later. 3 hours later, you arrive in Caer Conig with 2 sets of extremely exhausted dogs. Looms large behind this quiet lakeside town. Here you go. Caer Conig, I don't believe so. Let me consult my dog. Here's the Dead Tree Edition. Caer Conig. No, Caer Conig sacrifices food. They leave food sacrifice, and then they attract yetis, yeah. They leave it out on racks above the top of the town, and then they see what happens. Okay, so you pull into Caer Conig from the northwest, past the ruined Caer, and swish into town. As you can see, there is no walls. There's guards, a couple of guards walking about, but there's not many. It's mostly a small farming, fishing village.
So we let the guards know, but we'll conveniently miss the bit out where we, killed and brought back its Ben.
Yes, we'll have that hidden under furs or blankets or something.
Would you like me to have a word with the guards and have a word with the speaker?
Yes, please.
We'll pull up at the speaker's house since we're right near it.
I would keep Bob out the way as well.
Oh, yeah. We'll do it. We'll probably go and wrapped up in a tent that's badly put back together.
Yes, you have Bob, who is in the back of one of the dog sleds, covered in tent and things. I mean, you haven't wrapped it up neatly. You sort of yanked all of the pegs out, rolled it up sort of hand over hand, and chucked it in the back of the tent.
Yeah, that's how I would do it. Right. That's how those work, isn't it?
So as you pull up to the speaker's house, the town sits quietly at the foot of Kelvin's cairn. A few bundled up people shuffle between snow-battered houses, keeping their heads down, barely bothering to give you a look as you walk past them. A pile of snow suddenly stirs as you pass it, and something hidden leaps out next to the speaker's house. It suddenly grabs hold of you all. Who goes there? Thieves! Have I got you, you creepy bastards! Pulling down the scarf covering his face, you see it is a silver dragonborn, holding onto an empty wine bottle and brandishing it like a weapon. He belches and grins at you and says, "Pardon me, manners. I'm a bit jittery with all the thieving going on. I'm Trovis, the town speaker."
Greetings, speaker. I'll speak to him in Draconic because I get advantage talking to dragon creatures.
Nice. He says,
having a look at my thing.
I haven't used dragon tongue in quite some time, I must say.
I get double proficiency if I need to make any checks when dealing with them. You do seem to be quite under the weather. We heard that there was some thieving going on here, and we came to investigate. But we found out that a local guide who comes to this area, Garrett, had went missing at Kelvin's cairn. So we went there first and rescued him. We've just returned and we've seen a full-grown angry yeti on our travels. So
he holds his finger up and goes, "Just let me stop you one moment," and then his eyes cross and he pitches forward and collapses into the snow in front of you.
And I go, "Well, that's a good start. I'll help them up and carry him in. Is the door open to the speaker's house?
It isn't, but he will have some keys in his pocket. As you help him back up, he comes back to semi-consciousness and he goes, and did I tell you the time where I kicked a half-auger into the river and it floated away and it swore something fierce at me? And the rest of the party, they were laughing and laughing.
We're going to brew you something to drink. Maybe the conversation we have to have is probably done on a clearer head.
That would be nice, he says, and he shakes the empty wine bottle and he goes, a bugger, I'm out of wine. Does anybody have any wine? Because I tell you when I got some wine. There's this time when there was a bunch of kobolds and I went in and pretended I was a dragon and they believed me and they made me their leader and I got them to bring me all the wine I could drink.
I've got that frozen wine sack. I'll whisper.
We can thaw a wine cooler, but in the meantime, let's sit in your house and get warm. And I'll explain what's going on. You can tell me about these thieves because we have to get Garrett somewhere warm.
That looks like the speaker's house will be warm.
That sounds like a plan. So, yes.
I'll unlock his door for him.
Yeah.
And escort everyone in.
Right, so hustling everybody in. What do you do with the dogs and the dog sleds? Do you just spike them outside? And are you leaving Bob?
Well, we'll spike the sleds outside and we'll bring the dogs in with us.
Yeah.
The sleds go missing though with the thieves.
That's a point.
Yes.
Could leave Bob out there with them.
Is there a stable attached to the speaker?
Well, we'll leave Bob out there. We'll find a stables, but we'll leave Bob out there. I'm pretty sure the local thieves are going to have a bit of a problem with the security device we've left.
Yeah. What instructions do you give Bob, Bracy?
I tell him to basically keep out the road, keep an eye on the sleds. Don't engage with anybody, try and stay hidden. But if anybody tries to nick the sleds, just don't kill them. Just, make them see that are out of the way.
Just batter them a bit.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll head into his kitchen and find the coffee.
Yeah,
or whatever.
You head into the speaker's house. It's quite a large house with several rooms, several guest rooms, and a large central area that he can hold meetings in. So it is the biggest house in town. You find you pour him onto a settee and you sit him upright and he sort of does that drunk thing where he slowly slides down towards the floor.
If possible, I'll park myself on a chair so I can say out the front window and say the sleds.
Okay, that's not a problem. Yeah, Bob stands.
Just if necessary.
Yeah.
I'll whip the window open and put arrows in people.
Yeah, Bob stands there, God, as he was instructed to do. So you're all inside the sneaker's house. There's actually wood in the fireplace, but there's also a whale oil fire.
I'll light the wood in the fire because we can cook on it.
With the snap of your fingers.
Of course.
Right, so with the snap of your fingers, there's a whoosh, and the wood lights.
Right, I warm my arse.
Of course.
As you do. But I'll not lift my skirt up too high. Is he out of it? If so, I'm going to ransack his kitchen for something that might bring him round.
He is definitely in that semi-conscious drunk state.
Put it in front of the fire so he can warm up.
One of us must be able to brew up some indigenous race coffee sort of thing that's going to...
I might know of herbs we can go out and find that we can make.
Oh, Jesus Christ, not the herbs thing again.
Herbs are very interesting. All plants are really. It's a miracle how they survive in this climate.
I don't know why you just didn't stay in town and be a florist.
Any herb I like is the one you can smoke.
Any herbs can be smoked.
If it's any help, Sandwin, I've got a healer's kit here burning a hole in my backpack. There must be something nice in the house.
I'll break through the healer's kit for something
the equivalent,
pungent.
Yeah, the equivalent of smelling salts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you rake through, you find something and waft it under his nose. Brew him some...
Get some dog shit or something, like the dogs.
I hope I never pass out next to you, Tracy. Jesus.
I know this trick with a bit of ginger. But when he's got to put his strides down.
Get to see how many spare bedrooms there are.
We're going to see his house. I can see it coming.
There are about 3 spare bedrooms. He looks kind of slovenly, and you can see several trinkets scattered around the main room. Obviously, they're not worth anything, but they're obviously mementos of his adventuring career. Sort of the odd tooth or scale.
Remember, we're his personal guards now, so he'll be paying us in food and bedding.
And lodgings.
Thomas, you need to wake up. We need to talk. It's really important.
So I'd say you spend about half an hour sobering him up, enough so that he furrows his brow in a hangover way and his compass mentis enough to discuss with you whatever it is you want to speak about.
Oh, what a relief. We on the way back from rescuing Garrett from Calvin's cairn, we passed a very angry Yeti.
Oh, okay.
It was a big boy.
Have you got Garrett rolled in front of the fire as well?
Oh, aye. Everybody's in, even the dogs.
He looks and goes, "Am I still drunk, or have I got a house full of dogs?"
No, you've got
Just seeing things. There's only one dog. Where's the dogs?
He shakes his head and he's like, "I am very, very confused. This was quite strong wine, I think."
Right. Can you tell us what's going on in town? Because we got a message all the way down in Bryn Shander that there was some trouble here. Thieves, vandals, and something to do with adventurers.
Yeah, that's true. We have had troubles. No one's seen anything really. Just the other night, the tavern over at the Northern Light, the lantern was stolen from outside. A magical lantern. I mean, I say magical, it just changes colours.
Shit.
When it changes colour, does it change blue?
No, I think it goes from red to green.
Huh.
But Corrie won't let me hear the end of it because I haven't been able to find them, and she says she's going to cut me off from drinking there if I don't find it. So I was very carefully staging a stakeout.
Yeah, I saw that.
He says, "But
Did
that's
she?
yeah."
You know that lantern I've got? It doesn't change them colours, does it?
No, yours only changes colour when there's an elemental close by.
Right, okay, I thought I had visions that was nicked. And we'd been given something nicked. That's all right.
It works as a perfectly normal lantern, except when elementals are nearby and then it glows at green.
Can we switch the lantern on to see if it turns green? Like, got 500 feet range, hasn't it?
You can. You turn it on and it does not show green, just normal. He says, but that's not the only thing. There's some other things being stolen. There was a pair of goats stolen from the local tavern. And as you can imagine, they're quite valuable livestock because you can get fresh milk off them and things. And the old gaffer that runs the Frozen Fire expeditions, he had a sack of pearls nicked.
Pearls, goats, and a magical lantern.
Yes.
And you've got no idea who's doing it?
No, I am at a loss, which is unusual because back in my adventuring days, there was one time where I had to take a case and we were tracking down a missing girl and her parents were a king and queen of a long lost country. And at the time...
Lovely knees.
What? Sorry?
I'll just every time he starts into a drunken thing, I'm going to distract him with totally random comments like, "I like your knees. They're very. You always have them." And you know when that resets a drunk person's brain, I'll just keep doing that every time he starts meandering.
Okay, so you do that, and he sort of rolls his eyes and then focuses on you.
How about this? Right, we need. Our dogs and our friend here are both exhausted. If you can provide them with some food and let them stay warm in the house, we'll have a quick walk round town after we've put our feet up for 10 minutes and see if there's anything we can do to help you with the problem.
Can I interject? Could we ask that, you try to stay sober whilst we're trying to do this so that we can liaise better with you?
He says, I will stay this sober the entire time you're in town. Cross my heart and hope to die. And as he does that, he does a salute and then looks confused. And then
soberer would be better. And if you can manage it, we do have a wineskin that happens to be full that we can give you as a parting gift.
Oh, he says
when we leave.
That would be very.
But for now, we'll give you this wine that tastes remarkably like strong coffee.
It's coffee flavoured wine. So,
and then he gets a bit sad drunk and he's like, "I'm trying to do my best as the speaker and look after the town, but I cannot catch these things." And all the other towns look down at us because we're only a little fishing town, and since the lake's frozen, we can't really do any business. This bloody
That's not true. I was talking to the guard captain in Bryn Shander, and he told me Caer Coneg's got the most potential of any town in the 10 towns to be a big operation once this cold's passed.
Running the full gamut of drunken emotions, he then throws his arms around you and he's like, "I love you, you're so nice," and starts crying on your shoulder.
Oh, that's nice. Look, would there be a reward for recovering these stolen things?
He
Or
said,
would we-
I would love to give you a reward, but we haven't really got anything in the town kitty at the moment. We can offer you free food and drink, and
That's kind of our usual fee. So I tell you what, we'll stay here until our friends recover, the dogs and Garrett. And in the meantime, we'll have a quick look around and see if we can find out to quick investigate. That sound about right?
that sounds fantastic. Thank you. And I will stay and guard the house. In fact, I will guard this settee, and no man shall get on it without me. And then he sort of passes out onto the settee.
I'll call them up.
But this ruined care, it's like a ruined castle then.
It is, yes. Andy, as you are looking, you keep glancing back out of the window, you see a man running down the main street, holding his arm up from which blood runs down the arm, and he is running towards the speaker's house.
Oh, God.
I'll go to the front door and nip outside. What's the matter?
Right, he runs forward and he goes, there's a mad yeti. It's come running into town. It's torn two of the gods in half. It tore Jack's leg right off and threw it across the
Jesus
lake.
Christ.
It's over by Frozen Far. It's running amok, and it seems to be heading this way.
Right, let's go, boys.
Yeah, at least we're warm. We'll die warm.
You're not surprised, as this thing has easily followed you somehow by the scent of you dragging a dead yeti child, maybe, or
Yeah,
You know what you're on about?
like that.
tweren't us.
Oh,
He
It
lays,
was like that all the time, Governor.
you lay eyes upon you. He roars. He's covered in gore from almost head to foot. You can see the bodies of two torn apart town guards lying somewhat behind him as he rampages through the town.
I'll look at the yeti with a practiced eye and work out whether I can get trousers and a jacket out of him. I'm going last.
And he's like, I guess to at least 3 very underpants of them.
So first up we have Sanwin, who is still inside.
Someone is moving to the window.
Okay.
Can I get a line of sight through the window on him?
Yeah,
from
certainly.
there? Yeah, I'll line of sight him through the window, and I'm going to chromatic orb him.
Oh, I hope the fuck this goes off.
That
Sorry.
is actually you can't see him past that building from that point.
Can I stick my
You'd
head out
have
the
to
door?
stick your head out of the door.
I'll stick my head out the door, cast, then pull my head back in. So
Yeah.
I've got 5 movement left. So I'll cast and then I'll pull back in again. I'm just going to target him. Hang on. Every time I target something, I have to target it 3 times. Got it. Right. Okay. Have you taken the lingering effect off before I cast
I
my
have
spell?
not, so that's a good call. Hold on.
You see, I'm a good
Wound
boy.
eye. Yeah, it's still bruised, but you can actually see through it now.
That's fine. I will try and hit it with a chromatic orb. I hit, and I will burn it when I find that one here. Oh, okay.
Right, the
And then I'll
Yeti
go
roars,
back in.
but it doesn't hold. It doesn't seem to react to the fire the way the other one did.
That's me.
Ben,
I shall step outside in front of Copperpot and chromatic orb the Yeti.
has that got a range of more than 40 feet? By the way,
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I remember all the times that Erigal cast it ineffectually.
19.
go ahead, Dave. Roll to hit, young man. Roll to hit. Well, a 1 and a 2. You did well there. And then what do you do, Dave?
Now you know how I felt.
Ready my weapons. I don't suppose a short rest got my second wind and what you call it back, did it?
It should have, yes. Wait a
Yeah,
second.
everything resets in a short rest. Well, fighters, they're awesome, I think.
Yeah, I should have actually done a short rest for you because it'll automatically refresh things that you can use.
I'll hold my attack action until it comes within range of us.
Okay, so next up is
The Yeti.
Yeti, who charges down the street, reaches Ben in 1 round, chilling gazes at you as you are the closest, and you were casting fire at him. But he sort of sniffs the air as he runs in, Andy, and then looks directly at you.
Don't know what he's looking at me for.
Right, Dave fails his save. You require only just so. You take cold damage and a paralyze, and then he claws twice at you. The first one comes in, bounces off your armor. The second one comes in, hits and slashes you once more. Oh, and puts you down. Yeah, he's enraged as
He's not looking too happy, like.
and I think that just about ends your turn. Dave has had his foot almost torn off. That's not quite. bad. But we'll give Dave a wound, eh? That'll be fun.
All right, he's got a spare.
This is the party of one limb. Dave, you have a limp.
Limp wood.
Oh. Right, sadly, the poor Yeti has run out of actions now. Fishfinger is inside. Alan Tesh. You hear a roaring. You see a spray of blood coming through the doorway. A splatter into the corridor.
Can I get to the door and put my head outside? Can I see past these lot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dave's lying on the floor, for instance, so you can easily step over him.
So if I get there, I'll be able to see the Yeti, yeah?
Yes.
Right, okay, I'm going to cast Magic Missile on the Yeti.
Nice. You have to be out of spell slots now.
Yes, I am. You've been banking on it.
Yes.
Yes, I'm out.
Right.
I'm all out.
It slams into the Yeti and it howls, but it seems to be more angry than anything else. Is that your turn, or are you moving back into the house?
I'll step back inside.
Very well. Isha.
Right, through the doorway, I'm going to target Davy and cast Healing Word as a bonus action.
Okay.
Oh, shite, what happened there? Oh, bollocks, okay.
Target yourself and you targeted Dave.
Right, I think I was still targeted from when I cast Guidance.
That's all right. There you go.
As long as Davy's alive now.
Like, if you're casting your guidance on yourself, it's not worth targeting yourself. Just drag the effect and drop it on yourself.
Yeah.
Or drop it on the token. Right, Dave is prone but awake and has a limp.
Right. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Can I cast a bonus spell and a spell in the same round or not?
Yes, but
Right.
the spell you cast has to have the casting time of an action.
Yep, it does.
The other, and it has to be. Sorry, no. The spell has to be a cantrip with the casting time of an action, and then the main spell is basically Healing Word. So you can cast a cantrip with the casting time of an action as well.
Right, okay.
Because the word, it confusingly, and basically all they should say is, yeah, it's for clerics to be able to cast Healing Word and a cantrip.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I will move to the doorway.
Okay. You step forward.
Target the Yeti and cast Toll the Dead.
Okay. You love that. Toll the Dead, you do.
Well, it's the only thing I can cast at the minute, so...
Bong. It saves, so it takes no damage.
Shite.
And is that your turn?
I will... could I try and do an Intimidate scream at it to draw it to me and not to Davy?
It doesn't seem to be interested in Davy. It went for Davy because he's in the way of getting Andy, who was the one who got covered in the blood of his child.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
it just splattered Dave and it cast him aside to get at Andy. You can certainly try, but whether it will make any difference or not, you got.
That would have been a wonderful 20 moment, though.
Is that your turn?
For now.
Okay. Sanhar says, I'm guarding the sleds, and guards the sleds. Corin.
Right.
No, because I shouted out the window to Bob.
I said, is that your turn?
No, he did before.
I did. I shouted before. I struck me out of the window, shouted to Bob to get the Yeti and engage it from range.
He has no range attack. He's got melee attack.
Oh, that's fair enough.
That engage it very, very close range.
Right.
So he can't engage it from range. Or that I would, or Maleficent one, but I have no ranged attack, and he runs the bugger away.
Right. Oh shit. Here we go. Let's get this right. Put that on myself.
Yeah. What's the 1d8 for?
That's Hunter's Prey.
Yeah, that should be already on.
Right.
Wait, is this in that?
And then there's the Hunter's Marky thing that I've got to put on.
Yeah, that's a casting as a bonus action, yeah?
Yeah, that's just the bonus action.
Yeah. Where's your effect on? 1 sec. Not round. Yeah, that should be on.
Looks right to me. Not that I understand it that much.
Oh, right. It's missing the on-turn thing.
Right. It all looks right to me, if that's any help.
Right. I think that's right. If not, I'll put it right at the end of the session. It'll work once, but it should automatically come up every time you do it, because I did it with Dave. Right, there you go. So you fire.
Right. Yep. Hang on. I've done that. Okay. Wait a minute. Hang on. Sorry. I'm just fumbling about there like a lunatic. What a bit.
Luckily, as it's berserk, you're getting advantage to hit.
I'm fumbling about 15-year-old at a prom.
Even better. Right. Hang on. I've just got to if I manage to hit, that's even better. I've just got to keep moving things. His screen's not big enough.
It's a hit. Right, the arrow sinks deeply into it, hurting it quite badly. You do have another 15 feet of movement, but that is you out of...
No, that's fine. I am hiding directly behind Bob. In other words, it's going to have to go through Bob to get me.
Oh, don't kill me, servant.
Okay.
Look, with the greatest of respect, Aisha, I love you like a brother, but I'm the only one out here and it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
Run quite fast.
Sandman,
It can outrun me.
Sandman, it's back to you.
Chromatic orb.
How many spell slots you got left? You seem to be using an awful
2
lot.
first level spells left. Go remember, I've been spending sorcery points to get the slots back. I've been checking them. I have been a good promise.
I've just been very careful and not used mine.
Hits.
Oh, well done, son. Pick the buns out of that.
Yeah, Ben, it's your turn.
Right, I will stand up.
You shall
hop
make a
on
save
leg.
at the end of your turn because you are paralyzed by its gears, remember?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it runs straight past you, crashes into Bob, uses dread gears upon Corin first.
No.
It shouldn't work if I shut my eyes.
That's how it works, Andy. You save, but I think you take half damage.
Lovely. What the?
Or take 3.
What's that?
No, you don't take any damage. So, Andy, you save against the dread gears. It makes
That's something at least.
It makes a shoving attack on Bob to get past him.
Does that mean he gets an attack of opportunity?
No, it's a shove first. Move Bob 5 feet away, so it shoves him back 5 feet to there. And then you're directly in front of it, so it has 1 attack left, which it uses its claws upon you.
Near the window.
It's gonna lay some hands on you here, Andy.
I'm not complaining. Honestly, I'm not. But all I'm saying is I was directly behind Bob.
Yes.
So if it pushes Bob away from it, how come he's gone sideways?
It can push him to the side. It's like swings it away. Anywhere within its front arc, it can either knock him to the ground or push him away. So it pushes away, it hits.
Right.
Finally getting at you, doing 7 damage.
I'll laugh at it.
Wow. Lantesh.
Right, I'm going to move there, put my head out the door, and cast Firebolt through Ben's whiskers. Straight at the Yeti.
I'm still lying down.
I'll tell you what I forgot to do, Dave, was ask you for a saving throw at the end of your turn. So I will find the Yeti. I will find out how difficult it is to save. It needs a 13 Constitution to save. So I'm just going to request this for you right now. Hurrah, Dave, you are no longer paralyzed. However, you've missed your turn. You've also lost your held action because you were paralyzed. But you do have a nice limp, which is great. Lantesh hits. Doing
2 points.
2 points of damage. The Yeti looks badly injured, but it still seems to be just going for it. Isha.
Right. Quickly explain how this spell works to us, because I'm a bit confused. It says, War Priest. From first level, your god delivers bolts of inspiration to you while you are engaged in battle. When you use an attack action, you can make 1 weapon attack as a bonus action. You can use this feature as a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. You gain all expended. Right. All right. Yes. Sorry. So when I cast this, does it come off a spell slot or?
I think it's your channel divinity.
Right.
It's like your priest power.
All right. So.
So it uses your bonus action the first time you cast it, and then the subsequent rounds you can make an extra attack using your bonus action, attacking twice per round.
Oh,
right. Okay, then I cast that and I charge out the door straight at the Yeti.
So you cast that, so you won't get a bonus attack this round. But if it survives another round, you will get to use it. So you can make a normal attack with your big hammer if you wish. Right.
Yes.
With a sickening crack. As it's focused on Corin, you bring the hammer down and smash its skull in, and it falls dead to the floor. It joins its entire family in Yeti heaven.
I stand on its throat, put the warhammer down, and just go, nobody touches my friend.
It joins its family as bits of clothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need a new furry underpants.
I'm going to help Ben back into the inn and that.
Everybody back inside where it's warm while I skin this.
You may as well do the baby and the cat while you're at it.
Well, we could help you, so you get advantage.
Yes, it would be very much appreciated.
Who's the most badly hurt?
A Yeti's large. as is a crag cat.
Yeah.
You know who could help? Garrett. Garrett might actually know how to skin.
I help Bob up, and then I'm going to cast Healing Word on Bjorn and.
Will somebody stick their head in the front room and ask Garrett if he knows about skinning, if he's up to giving us a hand?
Pass that message on to Garrett.
I mean, if he's not, it's cool.
He's got 2 levels of exhaustion. He's in a pretty bad state. He's prepared to give it a go, but then he'll have to come away from the fire.
Yeah, we'll slow us down by a day. Okay.
Stop where you are, son.
I mean,
I'll manage.
By the rules, I can help you, which is essentially I'll literally just hold knives and hand them to you when you ask for them.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about it, so I'll help.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm literally
it's
like
an hour.
a
It's an hour for the cat, an hour for the Yeti.
Right. Well, I'll do the Yeti first because the Yeti's still warm. The cat at the minute, as far as I can remember, it's either on the sled or it's in the front room thawing out. So the Yeti we've just killed is warm, so that'll be all right. The baby Yeti probably won't have frozen completely, so I'll do that next.
Yeah.
And then I'll tackle the cat.
Oh,
So that's a 23. So you actually get a large hide off that one, Andy.
Right.
nice work. See, I told you had it the wrong way up.
It just stands there going, ooh, you don't want to cut it like this, you want to cut it like that Harry Enfield character.
Yeah.
While Andy just gives it vicious daggers.
Yep. So could
Well,
I possibly have a roll for the baby Yeti as well?
We can.
While he's doing this, I take it people are passing by to see what's going on. I'll be like,
they're making sure everybody's okay.
I'll do a lot of yep, no, we've got this.
Why this is a smashed up Yeti lying in the middle of town.
If anybody looks like they're sort of stopping to watch a bit, I'll just look up from what I'm doing and go, they make fantastic casseroles.
You know, guys, right? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. This is going to go great for us, our rep round here, because if everybody's going to be frightened to mess with us. So if there's anybody doing any dodgy shit, right?
It will definitely be a noted thing.
The baby is small, so you go down. You may not be able to recover anything off it. Let's have a go at 5e Arctic Survival. So it is.
Probably a pair of fur knickers for me.
And you're most welcome to them.
Thanks to keep the fur on the outside.
16 is down 2 sizes, so yeah, there's not enough recoverable because it was only a small creature.
Right. What about the crag cat?
The crag cat will have a look at.
Can we keep its head for the pub?
Oh my god! I won't keep in the big Yeti's head as well.
23, yeah. So you've got 2 large pelts off the crag cat.
Nice
A whole load of meat.
Right.
The meat can go to the dogs, and we can have.
I'm not sure how much of a Yeti would be edible, but
for the dogs.
Well, surely the legs, the upper arms, the backstrap, which would be chops, in other words.
This is
the dogs are like the liver and the heart and the tongue.
This is so disturbing. You have no idea.
I know, I'm feeling rather sick here. I'm looking at my chocolate digestives on the table and thinking, oh.
Wouldn't be nice if it tasted like liver.
I want the skull and the head bit of the helmet.
So I estimate roughly £100 of various raw meats, which is
a lot.
Worrying. Yeah.
I look at camera and go, barbecue?
Barbecue, good plan. There's a fire in the front room. I mean, it'd be a shame not to cook some morsels up while we're asking around in town.
Yeah, there's a whole...
inside the house.
That's a point. You know how I'm like the outdoorsy rangery type?
Yes.
I shall rake the Yeti's heart out because it'll still be warm. And you know, like the heart's basically heart-shaped.
Yeah.
Slice the little bit off the pointy end and eat it raw.
Oh, you are sick.
Yeah, this is one feral ass hobbit.
It's gone local.
Yeah, I'll run inside, grab a goblet, go back, fill it with the blood, and toast everyone for our best.
Oh my God, no! I'm gonna be sick.
And Bob says, Aisha, you need to be a little more specific. I don't have free will in the normal sense. I've got a bit of leeway, but I have to receive specific attack orders. I don't have any ranged weapons, and I'm not particularly skilled in bows or anything like that. And look, I already have my little pinky missing. So,
all right. Well, when I say range, either ranged spells or ranged weapons.
I don't have any spells.
Can I just ask Bob, is there any way to heal you, to mend you?
Not that I'm aware of. It's kind of a one-time thing when a member of our family volunteers to serve the House of the Moon. So we serve until we fall apart, and then our reward is that we get to move on to the afterlife to be with our ancestors. So
He had spells before. Will he get them spells back, or is that it gone forever?
he didn't have spells. He had a glare attack and a
Oh,
fist attack.
All right. Well, does he get his glare attack back?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's fine.
Just glare at things offensively.
Okay, go back to hiding.
So while Andy butchers, in the loosest possible term, various creatures in the street in the middle of Konig, what are the rest of you doing? Because it's going to take him like 2.5 hours.
Well, I'm helping them, so you'll have to do it without me. But you could go and ask around about these at the Northern Lights and the goats stolen from the tavern and the pearls from the far frozen far.
Yeah, I'll go with whoever's going to go and ask about.
I look at it all and go, yeah, there's two dead guards up them street. They might have money.
Because if you don't take a long rest, you're going to be exhausted by the next morning because you've done a full adventuring day, travelling out there and travelling back.
Right. Once I've finished all the skinning and butchering, I'm going back in the house where it's warm.
Okay.
Yeah,
To have a rest, basically.
And we'll take 2 heads.
Start them kebabs.
Well, if you want to go and ask around in these 2 hours that we're doing this, knock yourselves out.
Well, I could glean some information and then come back, and then we could all have a conflab about it whilst we're all getting warm in front of the fire, yeah?
Good
And
plan.
a nice Yeti curry.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, use a foul.
While I'm helping them, can I do things like get the pot and like put the best cuts in the pot for the curry? You know,
Yep.
all the nice chunky bits with the big gristle on, so you've got something to hold in the stew. Yeah, remember where I'm from? My character literally eats goat's heads.
Yeah,
So I'm
true.
literally like, oh, can I have the eyeball? And just eating the eyeball raw.
And
Actually, the rubbery bits.
could
Well,
I
who's
just say,
coming with us to ask questions?
I'm not doing what I'm doing to gross anybody out, and I apologise if I have done. But that apparently is like the traditional native Alaskan thing that you do when you kill a beast.
Yeah, I've read that they do it with mooses, and apparently moose hearts taste like butter.
Oh, you're not offenders, by the way. I'm just playing in character.
All right, no,
You've
but
not. I'm utterly disgusted with you.
I'm just chucking it out there so I don't completely like discuss that with GM.
It's the least you should expect, Rich.
Right, so Andy happily goes to work. So the rest of you, Bjorn, Ben, Lantesh, and Aisha, you are free to wander the town. It is, however, past business hours. So Frozen Far, as you walk up the street towards Frozen Far is currently shut with the shutters down and a closed sign on the door.
I'll bang on the door. They look at the desk and go, what we're doing here again?
Trying to find some information about, about things getting stolen and that. Yeah, the robberies.
Right, you hear from around the back of the shop, you hear as several dogs start barking loudly, disturbing all of the neighbours. Lights come on, lanterns get lit, and then eventually you hear, who is it? It's the middle of the bloody
evening.
night.
We're here on behalf of Speaker Torvis, currently being assigned to investigate the recent burglaries.
Oh, he says, did you have to come in the middle of the night?
Yes.
So there's a loud noise of bolts being drawn back, 3, possibly 4 bolts, and the shop door swings open.
Apologies for the late hour, but we were on our way to Care. What the hell's that? I played Care Deneville, but so our time's pretty precious at the moment. Whatever we have to get done, we'll have to get done as soon as possible, and we promised we'd look into this matter on behalf of Speaker Torvis.
Oh, well, actually, letting strangers in the middle of the night, I think I'm going to request a persuasion roll. What you see is an aging gentleman with mutton chops and a beard. He's wearing a wee willy winky nightie. He's got his pants pulled up over the top. He holds a short sword in one hand and a lantern in the other, and he is looking as if he's just crawled out of bed. So,
what time is it like?
Well, you spent 3 hours going out to. You went out. You left in the morning, which is 10 o'clock. Spent 3 hours getting out to the mountain. Then you went up the mountain for a couple of hours at least, came back down the mountain quicker, and then you spent 3 hours getting back. So it's sort of night time now, middle of the night. Yeah, I'm going to ask for a persuasion roll. As he says, come back in the morning. I'm an old man. My joints ache and I need me beauty sleep. You don't get to look like this by missing your beauty sleep, you know.
Has he opened the door or not?
He's opened it a little bit and he's peering round it with his lantern.
I basically slide my foot down between the door and the jamb, and I make an intimidate roll at him, and I say to him, "This is too important to wait, old man."
Oh, aren't you getting bitchy?
Oh, I like it when he gets in control of these things.
Right, okay, he shoves the door in the jaw jam and he staggers about a bit and he goes, I might be old, but I used to be an adventurer until I took an arrow in the knee.
I just look at him and grin.
Very well, very well. Come in, at least we might as well all be warm instead of freezing me conkers off. And he lets you in.
Lost Davy.
You have lost Davy. He lets the three of you in. Hopefully Davy will be back soon. I don't know really what I can tell. I went to sleep and then the dogs didn't bark, which was unusual because I hide the sleds and the sled dogs out for the town. The dogs normally bark if people come knocking in the middle of the night, and he looks pointedly at you, Aisha. He says,
just like giving a what?
The window was jimmied open, and so it must have took some strength because it was securely locked. And then my bag of everything seems to have been raked through as if they were looking at something, but then they took a bag of pearls that I had under the counter in the cash box. They weren't normal pearls; they were inscribed with scrimshaw to be all decorated.
Was that? Did it look as though they'd looked through many belongings, or just a couple of things and went straight to those items?
No.
Do you think they might have known what they were looking for?
Everything seems to be turned over.
Right.
Everything was moved just a little bit. Some things were opened, tin lids left open. They even opened me tea caddy and had a look through that, left the lid off. So they were careful, but not careful enough to not leave notice of their passage.
See any footprints outside in the snow or anything, or what?
I hadn't, because it had snowed that night, and by the time I got up, it was a fresh blanket of snow everywhere.
I'll ask which window it was that the jemmied open, and have a look to see if there's any like finger marks or anything to give us an idea, hand size, if there's any markings left.
Okay, I'll ask you for an investigation.
Before she does that,
Your guidance, go on, cast guidance. And you can help as well, actually. You can guidance and help somebody,
I'll do that.
Ooh. I'm fingers crossed because I'm proficient in investigation. There we go.
Right. So can I ask you to roll another D20, Tracy? I'll just do a straight request roll, actually. Right. So you search thoroughly around the windowsill and you see a scrape mark, maybe as if somebody had climbed through but had been wearing hobnail boots or something, which is kind of unusual for the area. But other than that, you don't find anything of interest.
I'll make a point of mentioning this to Ben and Aisha.
Can't you tell what size they average?
No, it's just a scrape mark. It's not an actual boot print or anything.
Oh, right, okay.
This was over a week ago, so there's not really any evidence to find at this point.
Is that all we've got to ask this gentleman? Either you want to...
Dave, are you back all right?
Yeah, back. I can't think of anything to ask him.
Apart from the theft, has there been anything else going on unusual or out of the ordinary?
No, not so much other than the thefts. No. It's been quiet around here, to be honest. It seems to be a quiet town compared to some of them around 10 towns.
If we do manage to recover your missing property, is there a finder's fee?
Yeah, certainly. I would happily pay a finder's fee. 25 gold pieces.
Yep, that would be really nice, kind of you. We'll be staying at the speaker's house if you can think of any other information that you might be of useful to the investigation. And apologies again for getting you out of bed.
Well, I mean, if you get me property back, then I suppose it's all right. Why adventurers feel the need to investigate things in the middle of the night is beyond me, though. Well, thank you. And if you do need to buy anything, then obviously Frozen Fire's open for business, normal business hours, all sorts of wilderness survival gear.
from what we've heard, Rich, he said he got burgled, was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
When was the other burglaries around the town? Can we get a timeline of when stuff was done?
They were less than 2 weeks, so the things have only been happening for the last couple of weeks.
Is it every couple of days? Is it random or?
Yeah, there's no actual time. It's not like every 2 days or every third day or whatever. It just seems to be.
The last burglary.
The last burglary was a couple of days ago, which was the lantern outside of the Northern Light.
I sit down in the thinker's position and I go, yeah. Does there seem to be any correlation between, was the weather incredibly bad on the days it was burgled? Or, is there anything that seems to line up with the days of the burglaries?
I'm going to ask you for a wisdom check. Here you go. Are you, this is just your remembrance, so it's not a...
Yeah.
You don't recall anything unusual about the weather on those nights.
Okay. I was just wondering, if it was bad and, it's helped the people, whoever's done this robbery sort of thing.
Very well. Are you leaving the poor old gentleman to his bed?
I've got nothing else to ask him at this time. Ben, is there anything you can think of that we might have missed asking this gentleman?
Nah, let's get we'll be better rested.
Okay, so you head back outside of the expeditions, the Frozen Fire expeditions, with its painted sign hanging up of a man climbing up a mountain. The other two places that are missing items are the Northern Light was missing its lantern, and the hook, line, and sinker was missing its goats.
I've got an idea, but best wait until the morning.
Okay, what are the rest of you doing then? Well, you two in particular. Andy's still humming while skinning stuff.
I'm eating the other eyeball and getting the curry ready.
It is rather late. I just didn't realise what time it was. I think we got a bit carried away with
the Northern Light and the hook, line, sinker will still be open, as the hook, line, sinker is a tap house. The Northern Light is the actual inn.
Fancy a pint, lads?
Well, we could do,
but just got enough for a drink and that.
Are we going to crash at the speaker's house, or are we going to trudge over to one of these inns?
We'll go back to the speaker's house. It is rather cold, I think.
The few patrons that you do see wandering about, a few of them staggering back from the sinker, mumbling drunkenly, pointing and talking to each other, going, "Yeah, that's them. They're 40 Yeti in the middle of town." And it seems to have spread rather quickly that you had a pitched battle in the middle of town a couple of hours ago.
Good. All to our advantage.
And that one that was wearing a turban, he ate the eyeballs. He ate the eyeballs straight over his skull, I swear to God.
He sat there stuck on them like a grape.
Right, so you're going to go back to the speaker's house for the evening.
Christian, sorry, I can't remember. If we set a watch, can we still get a long rest overnight or not?
Yeah, it still counts. Everybody can take a turn watching. You also have Mummy Man, who doesn't sleep or...
Would you mind if I made a suggestion, chaps? We've got more Yeti than we can eat. Now, if the dogs will eat Yeti meat, would it be an idea to bring the dogs outside, feed them Yeti meat, and then take them back inside where it's warm for the night?
Sounds good to me.
Andy's saying this, he's literally covered in blood up to his elbows.
I'll press the digitation
smeared on his face.
I'll look at him, I'll shake my head and think, oh God, and just go like that, snap my fingers and clean them up a bit.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, you don't have to give a lovely tingle when somebody pressed to digitate you.
All the dogs are going, her right?
Right, well, if you plan on having a long rest at the speaker's house, is that what you want to do? Yeah?
I'm all in favour of that, as long as we still do Aisha's idea and make sure we keep a watch through the night.
And I tell Bob to, if he hears anything or sees anything, to quietly wake us up and let us know what's happening.
He could just knock on the window. I'll sleep next to the window.
Yeah, I mean, shall we go to the rooms, or shall we stay down in the common room and just
So I assume that you're pulling the sleds off to the side of the house, sort of here, rather than leaving them parked in the middle of the street, or are you just leaving them there?
Is there any like little sheds out the back or anything? Because it looks like there's a little outhouse that we could stick them in or not.
Yeah, there'll be a shed. You can shove them in there if you wanted.
Personally, I
Sure.
reckon the best place to leave them is just tuck them up against the front of the building, and then whoever's on watch can sort of stand in the porch and just keep an eye out on them.
So sort of there.
Because if we stick them in a shed round the back somewhere, whoever's on watch is going to have to walk round there in the cold and sit on a cold sled for their watch and then walk back again.
So stick them there.
Guys, I've got an idea. You know, like obviously word's gotten round that, you know, we fought off this Yeti and whatnot. Well, if we leave the sleds outside, but make it look as though like we've hidden something underneath, you know, make it a target. See if we can hook ourselves a burglar.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah. All I'm asking is, are you blocking the main road, or are you just going to push them off to the side? Because you kind of just park them in the main road.
Well, how big are those sleds?
Cargo sleds are huge. Aisha can actually just push one.
Right.
If he puts his gear down first, he can actually...
Probably not going to get...
Right, well, hang on then. If I just move this...
A cargo sled is £650, I believe.
Okay, so they're probably not going to be able to nick it unless they like get a complete shed of like horses or 20 dogs, which will probably make a noise.
Shockingly, Aisha being a Goliath, and they have special rules, can pull £900. So he could actually pull the sled with a little bit of cargo in it.
Why don't we put the sleds there? Can you say that?
A large cargo sled weighs £600.
If we sort of put them there, then whoever's on watch can stand in the porch and can sort of see them out the porch window.
Or shall we get Bob to stand in the porchway in like cold weather gear to keep an eye on the sleds, and then one of us keeps an eye inside or out the back while the others rest?
Yep, good thinking.
Yep.
Or the other way around, whatever.
Yep, no, that sounds good to me. That sounds like a good plan.
I can see in the dark, so I could do one of the late watches when it's pitch black.
I can see in the dark as well, so maybe pair off. One person can see in the dark with someone, do watches that way. What do you think?
Yep, that sounds good to me. I'm quite prepared to take whatever watch anybody wants me to take.
Any chance you could ping that, the light timeline thing? Because I had it in my taskbar thing, the little bar at the bottom vanished.
Certainly can.
So, if the person without night vision... okay. We'll probably be up by 10 o'clock, so...
It's always kind of dark, so you're always at disadvantage with perception rolls and investigation rolls without a torch or a lamp.
I light me candle if I use anything.
Are we right? Are we just going to rest, or shall we actually, if there's burglars knocking around, shall we actually try and make ourselves an inviting target, by having the lights out in, like, say, the back room, but having the light in where we are, just a couple of candles, but enough so the people without dark vision can see?
That should be fine. I mean, I think, yes, finding the thief is important, but I think as things stand at the minute, us getting a good night's rest, so we're in better shape to find the thief.
Yeah, that's a priority, but I'm just worried in case... because knowing everybody, look, we'll get hit tonight when everybody's knackered and trying to rest.
Yeah.
No, I mean, let's be honest, who knows you're here?
All the town. You've been eyeballs for one, Sanwa.
Tribe.
Right, so you pull the cart to the side, you tell Bob to stand outside and watch them, then you take it in turns to watch. Yes?
Yeah.
Right, long story short, that's what you do. Okay. So you go to sleep, hopefully get a long rest through the night.
I'm not saying a thing, but it comes to something when I need a 20-minute discussion about who's going to sleep when, knowing our lovely GM as we do.
Yeah.
Trust him more than we love him. Not.
Right, so you sleep quite soundly. And you feel much better, but you gonna just ask for a perception roll to see who is the most perceptive. You're at disadvantage. I'm not going to hide it. See who's in what state here.
There's a disadvantage as well if you've got night vision.
Yes, because if you haven't got a light, all perception checks are disadvantage.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so
Well, if I'm on watch, I'm going to wear me miner's helmet with me candle lit.
And light your candle.
Yeah, if I hear anything.
But you all sleep peacefully. Everything's wonderful. And then, Dave, you hear something drags you awake, and you can hear the sound of a window at the back. Seems to be knocking in the wind.
I silently wake up the closest person to me.
Right. Who would that be? Who slept next to Dave?
I draw me short sword. That would be me. Or it's a little fortnight to stick together.
And I'll wake up another person as well.
Okay. Who else is next to Dave? I'll leave it in the...
I don't know where I am, so wherever you want me to be.
The party.
Just go randomly.
I'm all cuddled into Asia because he's always nice and toasty.
Salmon was the next closest.
Yeah, I'll wake him up.
Right. Honest, Lantesh, it's my great axe.
Literally, Andy, you go to check your weapons. Your short swords are there, but you reach around to where, well, you'll have unbuckled your sword belt because it's quite uncomfortable to sleep on it. You grab your sword belt. You notice the dagger's missing out of its sheath, but the two short swords are there. Right, so Dave has just woke you up, whispered, and shook you awake. You have only had a short rest, because I'm an evil DM.
Yes, you are. Because that means you've only got one first level spell back, yeah?
Yes, it does. Or you can go back to sleep.
Oh, I'm getting up.
Yeah, so you grab your sword belt, Andy, you start to slide the short sword out, but then you realise that the dagger sheath is missing. And as you look around the room, it's very dimly lit. You notice like a few things look like the backpacks that have been. It looks like they've been unbuckled and left open. There's nothing seems to be missing other than your dagger, but it looks like stuff's been moved about.
Was his dagger magical?
Yeah, it was made of Shardlin.
Oh, that one's gone. I thought it was my ordinary one.
No, the Shardlin dagger's gone. The rest of your stuff seems to be there.
Because I normally keep that wrapped up in my backpack, but that's fine.
If that was in your backpack, then your backpack is open. And you have not noticed that it's missing yet. But
is the front door locked still?
Yeah, the front door's locked, but you just walk Dave up was a slight dunk of the back window apparently blowing in the breeze and just creepily knocking because it's a shutter.
Right. Head outside round where the window is to see if I can spot any footprints whilst we can before the snow replaces them.
So you're heading out the front door?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's the back where the chimney is facing the ruined cairn. There's a window under there. That's the one that's open. Lantesh heads out the front door. Everybody's shaking awake except for Aisha, who was on guard. How were you guarding? Were you walking around the various rooms, Bracy, or
on the bottom floor? Yeah.
Yeah. So you were walking around, and by the time you'd got back, everything had apparently been normal. But as you can tell by your amazing perception skill, you hadn't noticed anything amiss until Bjorn had sort of grunted himself awake.
Okay.
Like I said, you do notice that your backpacks are unbuckled and the top's lying open.
Right. Do I notice, now that I'm aware of that everybody else is awake or something's happening, do I notice the back window open? Or can I hear
yeah,
it?
you can hear the dunk of the back window.
Right. I will carefully make my way to the window, look outside to see if I can see any footprints coming in and going out, or if they're just in, which means he's probably still inside, or whoever it is, whoever she is, whatever.
Okay, that's what you're doing. What about the rest of you? Corin's drawing his short sword, and where are you heading? Lantesh is heading out the front door.
I'll head towards. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Salmon.
I'll head towards the back window.
Okay.
I put my armor on.
Right. It's going to take you a couple of minutes to. It's going to take about 2 minutes to shrug it on, mind, Dave. You're all in your 90s.
Yes, I'll put my armor on.
Okay. I'll get rid of you. Get rid of you.
And then.
So yeah, unequip your armor because you wouldn't have been sleeping in it. Except Lantesh's armor's just and Salmon's armor's just. Right. Are you lighting a light, or are you doing this with dark vision?
I'm using my infravision.
Dark vision, so you're at disadvantage, yeah? Salmon?
Dark vision.
Okay. And you're at disadvantage anyway, Isha, because you don't have it.
How am I at a disadvantage with dark vision? Infravision, dark vision?
Because if it's you're relying on dark vision for perception, you get a disadvantage on your roll.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, so only Lantesh notices there's a little bit of snow on the inside of the window, and it looks like somebody has wiped it off on the carpet. But as you look out the back window, you can see a line of footprints heading towards the ruined care. But it's snowing lightly, so the footprint is slowly being filled in.
You know what would be a really clever thing to do? I'll whisper to whoever's next.
Lantesh and Aisha at the back window. Oh no, sorry, Lantesh is headed outside. So it's just Salmon and Aisha at the back window. The others are grunting and struggling into their armour as quick as they can.
What we should do is go to sleep. We know he's gone up to the cairn. He'll be awake now, but he'll be going to sleep when he's up there. So we get an early start, get up there, say hello to him, give him a slap round the head.
The cairn?
That's
No,
not a bad idea.
the ruined care.
The one just slightly to the northwest.
Yeah.
Biggest house.
All right, he mightn't actually be going in there. Okay, we should probably go out.
No, I described it as the footprints head off in that direction.
Actually, if it's the same person that's been doing these other burglaries, which he probably has been, that'd be a good base to come out of. And if he's
And it would be a good place to stash the gear.
exactly.
Actually, Dave, you're in the room with Andy. I want you to give me a medicine check, please.
Stop looking.
So do I put it in the castle or what?
No, it doesn't matter. You'll know whether you know something or not on this roll.
Stop looking.
An 8. Right. So as Andy shrugs his armour over the top of his shoulders, his shirt lifts up, and you think you catch a quick glimpse of something that's on his back as he quickly pulls his armour on.
Yeah, probably got a tattoo or something. A naked gnome tattoo.
It's dark and you're relying on your dark sight, but yeah, you definitely got a sight of something.
Can I just ask you, Rich, is that what I think it is?
No, it is not.
Oh, great. It's someone else. Lovely.
But it's all right,
come
'cause
back.
Dave's not going to mention it. You're fine, Andy. You'll be fine. It's okay.
Oh, that's
So-
all right then.
I'll come back in and get me cloak and everything on and whatnot, and cast mage armor on myself, and then get prepared to go out with the guys, and we'll go and check the ruin out.
Okay. So 2 minutes pass. Lantesh has come back in. Aisha and Salmon, are you doing anything else?
Let everybody know about these footprints that we've seen and where they're headed. And who's our best char again? Andy?
He tracks, he
And-
butchers Yetis, and he's a 1 for the ladies. It's the full package. Current toss cobble.
I thank you. Don't clap, just throw money.
It's like it's toss cobble. Current
Go
toss
on,
cobble.
I-
Down.
Do you think it's worth leaving Bob here to guard the house?
And Garrett and the dogs and the sled. Yes.
Right. Okay. I'll go get Bob. Tell him. Come in and actually stand close to the guy and guard him, and then we'll very quietly.
Tell him to keep an eye on the sleds and the dogs as well, because we don't want our transport going walkies.
Yeah.
If that's all right.
That is absolutely fine. Yeah. Bob will once he's given a specific set of orders, he can if you say it right, attack that. He can then attack it in different ways and stuff, but he can't just attack it, unless you say guard the house. Anybody attacks the house, then defend it. But if you say if anybody comes near the house, he'll just beat civilians up and stuff like that. So you have to be careful how you instruct Bob. But once he has a target and things, he can use then some kind of initiative.
All right. I tell him.
I'm not trying to fuck the place over, but I am.
Yeah. Well, that's absolutely fine, Rich. I know what you mean. All right, tell him to guard him. Took off the sleds. If anything happens, like the house catches fire or anything, get the guy out of the house and the dogs.
You got it, Aisha.
We get a short rest or
Yeah, you can have a short rest.
Well, I shall rummage about in me pouch, pull out a small pot, unscrew the lid, dip me finger in.
Hold on a sec. You've had 2 short rests. You can't get another short rest until you've had a long rest. You're only allowed 2 short rests between a long rest to stop people go, right, we'll fight this mob, then we'll have a short rest. Then we'll fight this mob, then we'll have a short rest. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to take that off you, Dave.
I shall dip me finger in it, and then put a mark of Yeti's blood under each eye. I'm ready.
Oh, God, he's gone all Rambo.
Feral hobbit.
Well, we're getting ready. I'm going to have a quick bio.
Right, okay, we'll take a 5-minute break then, and everybody can grab a bio. Very well. So, sugaring your gear on, are you taking the large tent with you, or are you just coming out? Remembering that Dave still has a wounded foot, and is limping because he has not managed to get the full hit points or had a long rest yet. Yes, I am a bastard.
Well, I very much doubt he's gone that far, but it would be dangerous to go out without it. So will it take us long to repack it? Or did someone repack it?
I would assume you would have repacked it because you had 2.5 hours of time to kill while,
Yeah.
Slicey McSliceface there was doing his work. Corin, known as the Doctor.
Always butchering.
Yeah. So you've had time to repack it, but it is £50. Who wants to carry it?
Yeah, sure.
I'll carry it.
Okay,
Cheers, mate. I'm sure we've rigged up some sort of backpacky type carrying straps for it.
Oh yeah, it's got straps and things on it, but it's just massive, and things like that do come in important. This is great. You've got loads of food. You've got no money.
I'll take me backpack because it's got torches and stuff in it.
Yes, it is. You're still injured. You're out of spell slot. The glory of D&D. This is like D&D, like your mama never played.
Can I put my armor back on now?
Yeah, you put your armor on.
Your way, steel on steel.
Right, there you are. It's now carried, so you're at 170 out of 450 pounds, Bracey. So you've got a massive pack frame on, and you just
hang on,
whatever.
Out of how much?
He can carry 450 pounds. He can drag 900 pounds.
No, sorry, how much is he carrying now?
174 pounds.
That's £4 less than what I'm carrying in all me gear and me. So he could carry me as well. No, it's all right.
I like your thinking. That's absolutely.
I'm a neighbour. It's a mile.
It'd be a tidy step. Right, so running round the outside of the house
quietly,
you see a set of footprints filling in. Well, you didn't hear them climbing out the window. It was the window banging in the breeze, and there's a little bit of snow coming. So you estimate it wasn't immediate, but it was a short time ago of indeterminate length, because Asia is obviously shit at guard duty, or the DM rolled a natural 20. One of those things occurred.
Well, it's fine, whatever occurred. I shall draw me bow and knock an arrow and set off following those tracks.
How many pairs of tracks is there running off? 1, 2, 3?
There is one set of footprints leading away. There's a set of footprints coming to the door, the back window, but they were older, so they're more filled in. But there's a set of footprints leading off towards the care. But as you follow them, because it's only a short distance, they turn off and head almost straight north.
And I'm going to put this arrow right up his ring piece.
Can you tell me what kind of tracks these are, Mr. Toscolo?
Can I tell Salmon what kind of tracks these are?
You can. I am opening up the following the tracks thing. Let me see what it says.
I mean, are they feety or booty or whaty?
I do what I did by examining feet by taking boots off. That was so funny.
So I need to make some hidden survival.
You don't want to say Corin's feet.
Hairy.
Why? Well, unless that's your thing, I don't know.
Right, those tracks are made by a humanoid, and judging by the depth of the footprints, it's almost certainly a dwarf or some other kind of stocky humanoid race. It can't be a Goliath because Goliaths are too big. And as you follow them, it's about a mile out of town. Do you follow them all the way there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just move. I'll
Quietly.
A hike is a mile out of town.
Sneaking.
I love doing that. The tracks, which are almost completely filled in now, join a different set of tracks, which is a large sled. And it looks like the tracks ran up to the sled and then head off to the northwest. However, I need another hidden survival roll from you, Andy.
Right.
Check to see if polar bears are pulling that sledge.
Right. In between the two tracks is a large set of footprints. And when I talk large, when I say large, Ace got large feet, and they're at least twice the size of him. You estimate that those belong to some kind of giant kin. Is that your favoured enemy?
Hold on.
I think it is.
Hold on while I check. I'm not sure.
Because you know all sorts of stuff about your favoured enemy, don't you?
Yes, my favoured foe is giant kin, if that helps.
It is. Right, those tracks were made by an ogre, and they are heading to the northwest towards Kelvin's cairn.
Right. I shall relay this information to the rest of the party, adding, and I fucking hate ogres.
It looks sad. He's giant.
It does that I fucking hate ogres thing.
So what's to do, lads? Do we go back and get the sled?
I think we might have to go back and rest and then try to find them, but I don't think that's going to be much use, is it? But at the state we're in, if we bump into anything, we'd better be able to end it real quick.
I'm out of spells.
I tell you what, Andy, I'm going to.
Actually, I think
I'm
you're
going to request
probably
an open survival roll from you. You reckon that the light snow, you lick your finger and hold it up. You reckon that maybe the tracks are going to be filled in quite soon, as you expect the wind whistling around Kelvin's cairn to blow and fill the tracks in.
There again. Well, I'll tell the rest of the party this, but there again, I also say Sandwin's point. Are we in any fit states to be taking on an ogre and a dwarf? I mean, personally, if I was going mountain climbing again, I would like to do it rested.
Same time though, if we don't chase it up now, we might never find them. And they've also got some of our stuff, so we might be able to do something.
Well, I don't think Andy's noticed the dagger. You noticed that people had raked through your gear somewhat.
Well,
but I don't think
if I'd noticed the rake through my gear, that's kind of one of my most prized items. So I would have raked through my backpack looking for where I put it.
Yeah. So did you have it on the side of the backpack, or was it like jammed in just in the bottom of the backpack? Or
no, it's tucked down like the back of the backpack, but it's wrapped in a piece of cloth. So when you're wearing your backpack, you've just got that sort of reassuring feel. You can feel it.
Yes. Yeah.
So like if the shit really hits the fan, I know like where to put my hand to get hold of the hilt.
Yes. But yes, so you're incensed that some dwarf loving ogre seems to have nicked your prized
Go
possession.
for it then, guys. I mean, I can still do something. So it's not like I'm not capable of doing anything.
I mean, what you could do if you want is you could hot-foot it back to town and collect a sled. And do you think you're capable of, I don't mean this nastily, but do you think you're capable of following my tracks and I'll keep tracking them?
I know this is the sensible thing to do is to go back. But if we go back, we aren't going to find these tracks. So I think what we should do is catch up to them and then watch them while we rest.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've got the tent, so we could find out where it is, pull back a little bit, set up our tent strategically, and then have a rest.
That's the plan I think might work, but it's up to you.
Right. No. I mean, I'm cool with whatever we decide. It's just because, like, if I track them, I'm not going to lose them. But it's a matter of if you go back for faster transport and then come back again to pick me up, will you be able to find me again?
I'm
probably not
that good, sadly. I'm not as skilled as yourself, because...
Does it look like now the tracks are literally headed in one direction?
From where you are, almost straight northwest. Almost in a straight line, which would put it to the opposite side of Kelvin's cairn to the where you went before, because you kind of went northwest the last time.
Got you. Corin pulls a giant ball of red wool out of his backpack, ties one end to his belt, gives them the other end, and goes, right, just follow that.
It's not going to be that long. I mean, it's not going to be miles, is it?
It's like...
Well, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, to Kelvin's cairn from here, Andy, is 2 miles. Assuming it's at Kelvin's cairn, and they haven't continued on towards the Black Cabin, but yeah, it's 2 miles to Kelvin's cairn. So, I mean, when you say giant, is it the world's largest ball of string?
I was kind of joking.
Oh,
you know, because
I would love it if somebody got a bag of holding and went, no, I do have a 2 mile long ball of string in there, because I would piss myself.
I'll do that one of these days. That is a brilliant idea.
Some marks on trees if you're 50 meters or something with the rough direction and where he's going.
The problem is it tends to have blizzards and lots of snowfall. So you could... Andy's estimated that it's going to be covered pretty soon. But if the blizzard changes overnight, which it can't, then your little markers and everything will be obliterated. There'll just be snow there.
I think we should go for it now, guys, to get any chance of getting anything back.
They've either gone to Kelvin's cairn, or what about them having turned left into the Dwarven Valley, bearing in mind one of them's a dwarf?
Let's follow these tracks. Look,
tired, hungry, well, not hungry, tired, full of Yeti curry, cold and injured, Dave limping through the snow, stoically gritting his little teeth, bless him. You follow the tracks to Kelvin cairn. The reason it's easy to see the tracks, Andy, you underestimated how much snowfall there were, and the tracks are still quite visible by the time you reach the other side of Kelvin's cairn.
Right. Sorry. Oh, he does fuck up occasionally.
It's always better to be err on the safe side rather than the other side, isn't it?
And the way the weather's going, you can't be too careful.
Okey-doke. So you arrive on the side of Kelvin's cairn. The tracks go there in a straight line and then veer off, following the side of the mountainside to the north.
Owen,
Okay. As you approach, the tracks turn into what initially looks to be some sort of like fold in the rock, where where an avalanche is coming or something. But as you round the corner, you can see there's actually something carved on the outside of the rock, some kind of outpost perhaps, or some kind of watch post carved into the side of the stone of the mountain itself.
Do I recognise the language?
No, it's like a map and everything.
Oh, excellent.
So you are as far away as you can, and you just pulled up short around the side of this mountain. Andy, you keep turning your light on. Do you have a light on, or are you relying on dark vision and lead nature?
Well, I suppose. Well, is it dark at the minute?
No, it's like moonlight dark.
Right. Well, if we're going inside, I'll probably have to light my candle.
I was going to say, why don't we fall back, get out of sight, pitch our tent, and then rest, then go in? Because it's obviously this is their camp of some sort, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
So there's a great...
Actually, there was something I wanted to ask you, Rich. Just sort of casting about out here. Are there any signs of footprints or whatnot, or is there any way of gaining any idea about numbers? Like, are we talking a dwarf and a ogre?
Well, all you saw was apparently an ogre dragging a large cargo sled and a dwarf that had jumped into the sled. You apparently stand outside some kind of fortress carved into the stone rock of the mountain itself, but well hidden. If you hadn't been following the tracks, it would have been almost impossible to find.
Do the old Roger thing go? It's exactly 2.6 inches deep, which means it's carrying a load of 650 pounds, which means...
Richie, can I get Meow to have a fly up there and see if I can see anything? Because obviously he's got good sight in the dark. See if there's anything, any movement or like entrances, just anything of interest that could aid with if we need to.
I've set it to moonlight, so can you actually see now?
Yep.
Yeah. You can't. You get it to fly over. Yes.
There is one thing. When this is all over and we get back to town, I want a word with that fucking fox. That thing sleeps on top of me backpack. What was it doing?
Yeah. What was it doing? Oh no, I need some animal handling rolls from you and Tracy to see how well your training's going.
But isn't familiar? Find familiar not do it all for us.
No, for your owl, for your rabbit.
Oh, for your hair. All right. Okay. Right. Okay.
Do you want us to do that now?
Hang on, I'll give you a DC roll. So
can I ask?
Each time you succeed, you'll get a token towards having it fully trained. Here you go.
Oh,
can I ask coroner aiders to show us how to go about handling animals, or is that cheating?
No, you just have you're trying to bond with it, so it's just a straight up roll from you. Oh, 20 is 2 successes. So Lantesh, you've got 2 successes so far to training your rabbit. So it's stopped trying to run away and it's eaten out of your hand. But you can talk to them both as well. However, Corin's fox still tries to escape at the earliest opportunity. He doesn't have it on a lead.
And it keeps trying to take my hand off at the wrist.
Yes. So yes, to the left, Tracy, is some kind of bunker with arrow slits in it. And to the right, to the left are 2 giant stone doors carved into the mountain side itself. You're at the very edge. You've literally just come around the corner, seen this thing stretching above you, and thought, oh, hang on a minute, and stopped before you've gotten any closer.
Right. Why's the owl's done a flyby? By the way, I've sort of a name for the owl. It's Columbo.
Just one more thing, Lantesh.
Columbo. Which said last night.
Right, so yes, you can get the owl to fly closer if you wish. I assumed it was flying high to not attract attention.
Well, not attract too much attention, but as it did a fly past, do you know if it saw, was there any lighting coming from the arrow slits or
No, there's no light.
nothing? No, it's all right. That's okay. I guess Garrett come back down. I don't want it to risk itself.
Okay. Yeah, as Dave has already lost his to an avalanche and he needs to resummon it.
Right, I'll impart what information I deemed from that to the rest of the party.
When do you think we can back out of here and you find us a safe camp spot that's going to be out of their sort of area?
Yep, I do indeed.
What we do is we camp, come the morning when we've got light, right, and spells.
I mean, light. I'm doing the hand wavy. It's lighter.
Yeah, lighter is better than darker. That's my thoughts, unless anyone wants to hit them now in the state we're in. Nobody want to hit them now?
To be fair, my preference is to have a bit of a rest, because all I'm thinking is, if they tend to operate at night, there's more chance that they're going to be sleepy during the day.
Right.
You cannot keep going 24 hours, surely.
Well, apparently you lot can, although you are dropping. You're like literally on the verge of getting exhaustion now. Yeah, your beards are full of icicles. Breath comes in ragged thing. Dave's limping along. Occasionally he'll make a grunt noise as his ankle twists painfully.
And actually, when I think about it, all right, so they've taken some of our stuff, but do we actually need to burst in there and kill them all? Could we not find out what they're doing? I mean, if they are thieving bastards, we'll gut them like a fish.
Yeah, but by talking, we lose the element of surprise, and the element of surprise is quite important. So I think we should investigate and see what we can see before we start blowing things up. But if it comes to it...
Well, are you going to go in camp first, and then you can talk about this while you're camping?
We're going to camp up out of the way, still in the area, but, tucked around a corner somewhere,
Yeah, so about half a mile away, there's loads of crags as you're on the edge of a mountain. You try to find a low overhang so an avalanche won't fall on you. I'm going to roll randomly to see who rolls for the encounter check as you set your tent up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ben, it's all on you again. Let's have a D20 roll. Right, so you took yourselves away in this crevice, this overhung crevice that shelters you from the wind, set your tent up, and finally get some long rest. It's quite well camouflaged, so it's more unlikely that you would meet anything in the middle of the night. Do you take any precautions? Because you don't have Bob with you either. I'll remove Bob from the combat tracker. I'll move Mrs. Fishfinger.
We'll just put a watch on. You know what I mean? Someone will stay watching, just stay quiet.
Okay, I'm just going to make a combat group called NPCs, and then I can ban all of the NPCs off the combat tracker. I'll keep track of them because you seem to, for some reason, whatever, you guys seem to be collecting a whole load of pets, hangers on. It's like we started with pets and now we have an army
of rabbits
and foxes, and mummies. Right, pull them out the combat tracker. Okay, so you set up the watches, but you collapse, exhausted, and the night passes without incident.
Long rest.
Get a long rest. Finally.
Apart from that, Yeti curry makes hobbits a bit windy.
Yeah, the whistling and trumpeting throughout the night. You're too exhausted to even wake up for all of the burping and farting that goes on, but the smell in the morning is quite something.
Somebody give that tent flap a jiggle. Get a bit of fresh air in here.
I haven't, Rich, by the way, I've done using hit dice, but even though you've done the long rest, it hasn't refreshed my hit dice.
Should have.
Lovely.
I've cast me mage armor.
Lantesh cast mage armor, yeah. You all feel much better. You all feel less exhausted. Dave's foot is painful, but is not affecting him as badly as it was yesterday. You've removed your limp, Dave, and your prone effect. I bet that feels much better. Right, so are we just returning to the same scene of crime?
We're going to creep quietly forward. We're not going to rush out.
Oh, you're so bad at creeping.
Yeah. What I mean by creep is not necessarily stealthy, but we're not walking around in plain sight.
Right. Can I just ask, if hypothetically speaking, a halfling ranger were to wear the expertly removed skin of a crag cat, could said halfling ranger possibly at a push appear to be a crag cat?
Like a fucking pantomime horse.
A pantomime hobbit, if you don't mind.
Get you to roll performance at disadvantage, I guess. It's worth a shot.
Well, all right then. Let's have a look.
Roll 2 D20s. I mean,
if you pull this off, going to be legendary.
The problem is Corin wears scale mail, so he clanks about everywhere.
I think it's just eating an adventurer. Oh,
Okay, so
Nope.
that's a natural one. So you stand there with this crack and go, rawr, rawr. Everybody,
I thought hobbits couldn't roll a natural one.
you rolled 2 rolls. You rolled 2 ones.
Oh, fair enough.
I was going to say.
You rolled a 1, then re-rolled and got a 2, but you've got a -1 on performance. So you re-rolled.
All right, I'm
There's
with
so
you.
many re-rolls.
Because I was just going to say, could I have kind of tried this out with the gang and sort of stood there wrapped in this fur going, rawr, rawr,
Yes,
and then look at them on,
and then they tell you whatever.
and then go, no, oh, fair enough.
Mental.
So
You look
roll the
bloody
skin up,
ridiculous.
put it back in my backpack and just stick to sneaking, which I'm also crap at.
Right, so as you arrive back, you creep up, and I'll say that you're just peeking round the corner of the crag.
Yeah.
A blocky stronghold, bereft of warmth or charm, juts out of a hillside in a rough crescent shape. Only part of its construction is visible, the rest is buried in stone. A large double door of stone serves as the main entrance. The terrain leading to it, a gently upward sloping plain covered with fresh snow. A stream used to flow out of a barred culvert northeast of the main entrance, but the waterway has frozen. 2 other barred openings can be seen along the stronghold's northern wall, and anyone positioned behind these openings would have an unobstructed view of the hillside. Closer to you, separated from the rest of the stronghold, is a snow-covered stone bunker perforated by arrow slits. Facing south, there's the description in the text if you need to check anything. You are currently hiding, so there's plain terrain in front of you.
I'm not really much on assault and castles, just saying.
well, we're going to
The only other alternative that I can think of.
Tracy, I'm going to zip you round so you can see around the back of everything because you sent your owl out to have a look. Yeah.
Is
So
Yeah,
we
that would be
you can see round.
we hang
this,
about
back
and
this
go into
bunker
hiding
here, so you can see all of that bit of the map now.
and
lovely. Thank
wait
you.
for them to come out tonight and nobble them when they come out.
I can come out tonight and we'll freeze to death. No, we'll have to get in there. It's just how we're going to do it. This main road leads up to the main doors, and that
Yes.
looks like the way they're coming out.
Yes,
Do the doors open inwards or outwards? Because if they open outwards, I assume they push the snow.
they open inwards.
Rich, can I just ask you, what's that square thing to the northwest? From where?
Bunker.
The bunker.
The northeast, you mean?
And east side.
Yeah, that's a bunker.
Right. Okay.
Very hard to see from far away because it's covered in snow, but your owl
Yeah.
managed to uncover everything.
The bunker is likely connected to the stronghold by a tunnel of some sort.
I'll import this to the guy, the group, because that might be what we're in, actually, guys.
Well, let's get it. Can we skirt around rather than going straight up and then go along the right-hand side towards the bunker rather than going a straight line across the stream?
Yeah.
I'm just continuing snowdrifts and that to keep us out of line of sight.
Yeah, you are leaving lots of very visible snow prints, but obviously not thingy. So if something did come out, maybe they would see those. But I assume you head south for out of eyesight and circle round and come in the right-hand side, creeping along the wall, Scooby-Doo like.
Do, 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 dooby 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 doo. How's that?
So you creep around Scooby-Doo like this along the side of the mountain. And a huge design flaw for what appears to be a sentry bunker is that it has walls on 2 sides.
Oh,
Right, so you
Right.
arrive here.
I'll point at the bunker and point at my eyes and my ear. So and then I'll see if I can. I'll step up close to the bunker and see if I can hear anything inside.
The walls are about 2.5 feet thick, so you probably wouldn't hear anything inside.
I'm going to sneak round it. Right, I will sneak round to there. So let's find this because I do have.
Oh, we're doing sneaking now. Get in. Sneaking. Right, so you sneak up to...
Sneaking round in the snow is a lot like sneaking round in sand, just wetter.
It is, yes.
Can I just pop one eye round the arrow slit and look inside?
Right, so as you sneak up there, hidden under the snow is apparently an old dead twig. As you step on it, it lets out a loud crack. Just as as you get to the arrow slit.
Freeze. I'll just freeze in place up against the wall.
Right, you see a shadow pass in front of the arrow slit and apparently walk past. You're literally up against the wall, daring not to move.
I'm going to freeze in place like for 2 real life minutes, like count to 120 in my head.
Yeah, you others, you hear the loud crack and you see someone.
Signal to them to be quiet.
Yeah.
So
On inside. as if to say there's someone in there.
Draw me bow and arrow and hold me breath.
Right.
Just in case.
Right, you hear a swear after about 30 seconds or so. Apparently somebody has been standing close by on the other side, but not moving, breathing, just been possibly watching.
When you say a swear, do they swear? Oh shit, I can see something. Oh shit, that was nothing.
I am just trying to find out what languages you speak. It's whispered and you barely hear it. Where the hell is your languages? Journal.
I think what they are. It's Dwarven, Elven, Half-Elven, Common, and Draconic.
Right, okay. In Dwarven, but with a strange accent you hear. Must be going bloody mad. It's the cold. It's getting to your head. Now I'm talking to myself like that. And then the shadow moves away from the arrow slit.
Why is the arrow slit?
How wide's the arrow slit?
Wall, I think.
I don't know. They're like, what, 3-4 inches?
All right, okay.
I'll look at the group. I'll point at Ben and go, and as in to say, and then pull the beard and point at the thing as if to say it's a dwarf.
Oh, I think that deserves a performance check, do you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, Ben. Initially, you think that he's wanting you to shave your beard off to maybe stuff it through the arrow slit, but then after he does the old and you do the shrug your shoulders, he tugs as if it's beard, and you go, "Oh, it's a dwarf." So now, what do you do, Al?
And that's the question. Do we?
How the hell do we get in?
Well, further along, you can see 2 massive double doors and a small hole in the wall that apparently the old frozen stream came out of. Looks like maybe a sewer drain.
That's the equivalent of shinning up the garderobe tube there, isn't it?
Pretty much. Gardening.
Yeah, it'll be hobbit-sized, I take it.
It's certainly not going to be Ayrshire size, is the problem.
Rich, can I cast a spell from looking through my owl's eyes?
I believe you can, because in the starter set campaign, the wizard was using it to cast shot and grasp. But I don't know whether he was just cheating and I was too lazy to look up the rules. So I think
I know you can with like touch spells and stuff like that. But I mean, it's essentially I just need to look at something. So if I'm looking through it, the owl's eyes, I was just curious if you allowed it. These the outer doors looks like has it got a lock on the outer door?
No, they're just 2 huge stone doors.
Okay. Any chance I can just get me owl just to sit on that arrow thing and peer inside?
Which arrow thing?
On the arrow slit that the shadows walked past.
Yes, you can.
I'll be like behind whoever's walked past.
Well, you're not sure which way they're facing, so I am going to ask you to roll me a D20, an open D20, and lower is bad. And I'm going to say on a 1 to 5, he's facing towards the owl. Right, so you look in, you see a lone dwarven figure wrapped in cold weather clothing, carrying a crossbow. He's currently walking away from Sanwin, but he is stopping and looking out of all of the arrow slits, one at a time. I'm going to ask you to make... I need to pull your owl up. I need the owl to make a stealth check as it flutters down, because he is holding a crossbow.
Oh, please make it.
So the owl has to beat the creature's passive perception.
What, do you just want us to roll a 25?
No,
All
I'll roll a dex check for it.
Please.
A 16. Yes, apparently it's unnoticed that there's a slight flutter of wings. This dwarf is, like I said, wrapped up in cold weather clothing and stamping their feet. Can't make out any other details other than the fact he's carrying a crossbow.
Right. Now that I've got eyes on the dwarf, can I cast Hold Person?
I don't know, is the answer.
Well, it's 60 feet range.
Yeah, but
it's up to you whether you would allow it. I don't know.
Only if it says you can in the book. I think it's only touch spells.
I was going to say, can I just chuck in something here? If you were considering that, you haven't got Charm Person by any chance, have you?
I have, yes.
Go and open the doors for us?
I could try it, Charm Person.
Don't let me influence you. I was just...
No, that's a good idea, but I don't know whether Rich would allow it, would you?
Because otherwise...
I don't know. I'm trying desperately to look it up.
Right, okay.
I'll tell you if I see it, find anything.
I don't know is the answer.
I don't mind shinning up the cropper if that's what needs doing.
It's just so we don't get shot the shit out of whilst we try and break in here. We'll open the outer doors and that, he's just so he can't actively call for help. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I don't want to alert anybody else whilst we gain access to here. So I was just either wanting.
All I can find is when you cast a spell with a range of touches, the wording, which means it has to be a touch spell.
Do you want us to give you a list of what they can cast?
We only need to know if it can cast hold person or charm person. If neither of those are on the list, then you can tell Tracy in private.
I'm looking down the list.
As far as I can find by a quick consulting the Oracle Google, the wording is when you cast a spell with a range of touch, which says to me, because to do that, rather than explaining things, they have specific wording. So yeah, so I'm going to say no. If we're wrong at a later date, then we'll change it. But as far as I'm aware, it's only a touch spell. The owl could fit through and shot and grasp it, I guess. But the dwarf reaches the opposite end. Tracy, it reaches the opposite end of the bunker.
Can I use quickly prestidigitation just to knock on the outer door?
You can, but as you do that, he spins round. Obviously, he's walking the perimeter. Your owl is stood in the arrow slit. So you go to prestidigitate, he sees an owl and fires a crossbow at it.
Pull the owl back.
What the bloody hell, he says, as he shoots a crossbow at it. Right, where's my little encounter dude? There you are. I give you every chance to move it.
There aren't.
You don't have to be sorry to me.
No, sorry.
Them owls, them's good eating. That's why he shoots it. Andy, you'll attest to this.
Oh, I don't like an owl kebab. Owl Kiev.
Right, so
if you can get the garlic.
How do I do this? Question here. I'm gonna have to put your owl on the map so I can then shoot at it. That's how I'm going to do that.
Charming, it is.
Hey,
The idea was knock on the front door and like them to open the door to go and check, and then we could have just lumped.
I gave you every one, and I said he's turning round, and you're like, okay, I'm going out. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shoots your owl. Yeah, instant death. He shoots your owl through the head, and it falls dead to the floor. Smashing, he says.
Come out to get the food.
Hang on, he's going to have to come out and get it.
Yeah, so
you
wait. You wait, and nothing happens. Earl, you hear the noise of possibly a trapdoor opening or a door of some kind.
I'll count a couple of seconds and I'll peek round.
Okay, right. You peep in, and you see an empty guardhouse with an open trapdoor at the back. You should be able to move through, and you peek in there.
Right, I'm going to sneak around the side to here. Hang on, I can't move me gadget.
I know. I'm moving the other guy.
Move him along. Yeah, move him along the left.
Where the hell have you gone?
I've tried moving my gadget, but I can't move him.
He's still there. He's on top of the owl.
You're on top of the dead owl.
Yeah, sorry. I'm going to move to there.
Yeah.
And what's through that hole there? Is that another arrow slit?
Yeah, these are all arrow slits all the way around. You are now in full view of the other arrow slits, which is those things there. So, can you please roll me a d20? You need more than a 4, because in case there's a random patrol. Right, okay. So, I'm going to roll a perception check, as they happen to be looking in the correct area. This is where What? It did describe that there was a big grate that could be seen through.
You're right.
So, I'm going to roll a perception check, just to see if by any chance, I'm going to just roll it in the open. Yeah, I'm afraid that does. Somebody shouts in Dwarvish, "Hey, there's somebody out there."
I'll duck back round to where I was.
Yeah, you hear them shouting from that area. Hey, Sandman looks very sheepish as he walks around the other side of the thing. So, what are we doing now?
Getting ready because obviously whoever it is going to follow his footprints probably round the side that Sandman's come from. So I'm going to get position so I can see them come around and try and, get a couple of casts off or whatever.
Right, okay.
And comes around the corner.
So are you all just waiting to see what happens?
Is there anywhere we can stuff toss cobble in here? We haven't found any other opening big enough, have we?
No. The only openings big enough would be through the main gate or through the small hall.
Personally, I think discretion is the better part of valor, because we're never going to make it to them doors.
Yeah.
even if they're open, they'll shut them by the time we get there, and we'll get caught in a crossfire. So personally, I think we skedaddle and we'll chalk this one up and come back when they least expect us.
We're out here now. I agree with you that discretion is the better part of valor.
Right, so you stand there, you all form thing, a clang, clanging alarm type noise starts ringing from the inside of the structure.
I'm leaving. I think it's time we went.
Hang on. I've got a plan, but it might hurt. So get out the line of sight of everything, and I'm going to try talking our way out of this.
Out of line of sight of everything. Right. Well, I've got bow and arrow out, and I'm ready, and I'm holding attack actions, and if it all goes to shit, I shall shoot something.
Well, all I can say is, fuck you, Earl, because now I have to add every monster on the entire map to the...
We've done it again, haven't we?
Fucking thing, as you've now caused an alert. By just I'll just
it was
look around
me the last time.
It's fine. Yeah, absolutely fine, El. It's fine. Right, so what do you do, El? Because apparently the alarms are ringing.
Personally, I'd run away.
I'm going to try something. If it doesn't work, by the way, I would definitely get in behind this watchtower.
Yeah, doing that.
I'm going to go back to where I was, but I'm staying tight against this side here so I can't get from inside this watchtower without them having to lean out. And I'll shout in Dwarven, we just want to talk to someone.
As I. No, you've alerted that there's more than you.
You just want to talk to someone.
Aye.
Okay, very well. You want to talk to somebody. I can't just move mobs about. I have to open doors for them and shit. So I am trying to now move everybody about.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
I will stand there with my hands open, so I'm obviously not a threat, and I'm being very persuasive.
Sugar's going to get one for kill 'em all.
Right, so we've aggroed that one. There's an alarm sounding. You wait maybe 30 seconds. The two giant doors swing open, and standing on the other side is a dwarf, but like no dwarf you have ever seen before.
Is he tall?
No, he's clean. Oh, sorry. Dissing on the dwarfs. Standing behind the dwarf is a dwarf with a crossbow.
I'll put my hands up and say, we just want to talk.
He points a crossbow at you and says, step forward, stranger.
I'll just keep walking forward until he says stop. I'll just walk up this way until he says stop.
Who's we?
I've got a couple of friends back there, but
yeah, I can see the note. Oh, you've got a couple of friends back there, have you? Well, step forward or I'll pin you with an arrow.
Before I call them out, I just want you to know we don't mean any harm. Right, we didn't attack the sentry. We're just here to ask a couple of questions about a few things that have gone missing of ours.
Of course, I'm happy to help. Please step forward. This dwarf has a pure white beard and grey skin.
Can I insight him? Does he sound like he's truthful or not?
Yes, seems above board.
And there's two dwarves next to each other.
No, there's one dwarf. So you walk forward.
I'll say, look, we don't mean any harm. I don't want this to turn into something. It's just someone from here took some of our things the other day and we just want them back.
By all means, he says, I'm sorry, there seems to be some kind of misunderstanding. Please, just come on in where it's warm inside the fortress. Tell your friends to come out.
Yeah, okay. Just as long as I'm just going to make sure it's safe for them first. How about we start by you putting that crossbow down?
He says, well, you've come to our home and you're sneaking about.
We're not sneaking about. I'll look.
Voice cries in Dwarvish, there's another 4 of them behind here. And he goes, I suggest you step forward.
I'll step
and he
forward
says,
and I'll say,
he says, beast, seize them. And you hear, and stepping out into the doorway is an ogre zombie.
Oh, that's not good. I'll turn around to the dwarf and go, do you really want to do it this way? Because
he says, I'm sorry, none of you can leave alive. Now tell your people to come and I'll make it swift. Otherwise, he will tear you limb from limb.
Okay, tell you what, if I betray them, I'll say this quietly, if I betray them, let me go. How's that?
I like the way you think, stranger.
Plus, I can be really useful here. I know where the valuables in town are, the real valuables. That stupid dragon's got them hidden. Can I make a deception roll there, Rich?
You can make a deception roll. He says, this sounds excellent. Step forward and I'll set the beast upon your friend.
Oh God, no! They'll kill that easily.
Yes, I'm sure they will. The creature starts lumbering towards the bunker.
Okie doke. I'll step slightly out of its way in case it decides to take anything else. And I'm going to wait until the both are right. I'm going to wait until the group's starting to come out and is about halfway across. And then, yeah.
And that intervene with a slight minor illusion. Yeah, because I've like my ability as though the place is on fire inside, smoke coming out.
It's only a little bit of wisp of smoke, and he says, "There's nothing to burn in here, you fool. It's all stone."
Are you sure?
You continue to talk. He continues to speak friendly. The ogre zombie lumbers inexorably toward you.
Right. Since you aren't going to come out, I'm going to have to do this the hard way. When is he stepping out of the doorway? Is the doorway open?
Yeah, he's stepping forward just a little.
I hope you lot are coming out. I'm going to move as quick as I can and twin him and the zombie with Scorching Ray.
Okay, go ahead. Target them. Do whatever it is you need. Oh, sorry, you need to do one, then the other, don't you? Right. So what I'm going to do is we're going to roll some initiatives for everybody. Yeah, for some reason, they're not falling for the usual amount of bullshit.
I could probably turn the zombie.
Look at all them fives.
I'm going to roll for some stuff. That was him. I hate you for making me do this.
I just wanted to sneak in and get our stuff back.
Yeah, so why did you walk out into the open? Why do you do this to us, Earl?
Because you deserve me. That's what I say to people when they say things like that. It's like, you obviously deserved me.
Right, the ogre zombie goes first. So you can roll your spell as not a surprise, but you're opening up, and then the ogre zombie goes.
I'll do this. I've got a target. I've got the zombie, so I'll do the zombie first. I've just got to knock off some spells and spell points. Okay. I really hope we don't die.
Oh, it's a crit. Yeah, boy. The zombie appears to be lightly wounded.
You target the wee man.
And so you target the...
How to untarget him? Because I'm targeting both all of them.
Right, I'll do it for you, but you just control click him again.
I've got it. I did it.
You hit, miss, and you miss. Right, ogre zombie goes first. Pounds towards you, Earl, as he shouts, "Kill the fool! Can't reach you." Corin, you're next.
Right. I wish the map would stop doing that. It's all right. Right, I'll need to move first. Right, because what I can say depends on what I do.
Okay, so you move first.
And I can't say shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what you can do, though. You can give me a perception roll. A hidden perception.
Right. Mind you, I've got an arrow knocked.
That's fine.
And me hunter's mark prepared. And if I say anything, I shall let it have it.
That's fine. You give me a perception roll. You don't see anything, but you see a line of footprints in the snow leading from the front doors, walking all the way down the path and heading to the south of the bunker. So you can have an attack roll at disadvantage.
Right.
Because apparently something invisible has walked out of the fortress.
Right. Well, in that case...
So you shoot at the end of where the footprints are.
Right. So presumably I'll just
roll as normal and it should automatically take disadvantage. You need to add your misses. That didn't... I know I didn't make me invisible, did I? What a knob. Misses anyway because you're at disadvantage.
Right.
So I'm just going to drag the effect on. Invisible. Boom, baby. Corin has missed. Fires off it wildly into the snow. Sanwin.
Ian?
Yeah, you fight first on like a surprise round.
All right, I'm going to move to there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cast Sleep on the dwarf.
Very good.
I
just roll 5d8.
All right, I was going to say
20. Oh, that works, believe it or not. He falls asleep.
And then I'll do another 15 in my movement to get towards him.
Yeah, so apply the sleep effect to him.
Sleep.
Okay. Earthild is still asleep. And then you see the footprints running towards you like Michael Benton's Protty Time, but you can't actually make out anybody that is there. Lantesh, it's your turn.
Which direction is it coming from? Down the south where I've seen the action?
You haven't seen anything. All you saw was Corin firing an arrow to the south and curses he missed, but he didn't actually. You haven't seen anything.
Just out of curiosity.
Where's Sanwin? Like, is that not?
Sanwin had gone off towards the front of the fortress all by himself, trying to talk his way out of it.
Is that down south? That's where I'm.
No, that's to the west.
Oh,
I thought that was Corin's foot. Oh no, sorry, it's Corin.
I'm just going to remove the dead owl.
Oh, I want the corpse.
I'll leave it there. I'll eat it later.
You're not eating it.
Sorry, did I say
It
that out loud?
dissolves because it's a fey creature, so it dissolves back into the fey.
So I get the same spirit in it.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
okay.
I believe you have to buy them more incense.
So wait a minute. Which way am I going? Because I'm a bit confused with this map. Sorry.
You can tell me. You can either go south or you can go west. Which way do you want to go? Sanwin went to the west. Corin went to the south. But that is all the information you have.
I'll go to the west.
Okay, so move your token. I love line of sight.
Something I'd like to ask you, Rich, but I'll do it at the end of round if that's all right.
Yes.
Can I say anything?
Yeah, a mad rampaging ogre zombie, blackened off being burnt, and is charging towards Corin.
All right. I was looking for it. I couldn't see where the hell it was. Let's have a little look.
Because at the end of the round, it's 10 o'clock. It's we've got like 2 minutes, so we need to either hurry it up or stop midway through the round.
Yeah, I'm going to cast. I'm just looking to see what the range of magic missile is. Magic missile at level 2 on the ogre zombie thing.
Okay, you cast it. It slams into it. It still only looks wounded.
A lot of damage.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was. Right, Bairn. You do have a 10-foot of movement more. Do you want to move anywhere else?
I'd use me 25 feet.
All right, sorry. Okay, Ben, are you back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Step forward and bump into a wall. Stand behind Lantesh. Okay, you move to that.
And I'll spew a flaming bolt at this zombie.
What's the range on it?
120 feet.
Nice. It is only 75 feet away. Go for it.
Finish him off, Davey. Come on.
It's nice. Doing 9 damage. The zombie's starting to look badly hurt now. Yes, yeah.
I guess I'll have to move around.
And help the ranger.
I appear to be targeted.
Right, so where are you moving?
I kind of lost sight of everyone.
You have. They've all run off in all directions.
Yeah, which direction?
You must be able to say me, because I can say you.
You can see Corin.
Corin,
Lantesh and Bairn disappeared round to the north. Corin is at the south, shooting wildly into the snow and doesn't seem to be hitting Jack.
I will move south then.
Okay, well, you move where you need to move, mate.
Good lad.
Down.
Corin's by himself. I'll move to support Corin.
Good lad.
And I will look to see if I can see anything. Any footprints in the snow, or if he's firing wildly.
He is firing wildly. The arrows are skittering about here, there, and
can I see anything in the snow? That can see any footprints.
Yeah, you can see a line of footprints to the south, and Corin seems to be trying to hit something at the end of them, but he's firing wildly at disadvantage.
Right. If I can't actually see the target because it's invisible, which obviously it is, but I know the general place, can I still cast a spell on it or not?
That depends. You can cast an AoE spell and drag it and drop it on the map, and if it's in the AoE, then it'll roll. Or you can cast a spell that has a to-hit component. You can't cast a spell that has a save because you can't see it. So you can't cast Toll the Dead, but you can cast an AoE spell.
Right, how far away can I see these tracks?
About 20 feet.
Right, can I slap me me mace into the floor, grab a snowball of snow and throw it in the general direction of where I think the beat is going to go? After I cast guidance on myself to try and hit it. So
guidance is an action, so no. You can cast guidance, but then it wouldn't take effect till the next turn.
All right, I cast guidance on myself.
Okay, so you cast guidance on yourself. Okay. That is end of round. So are we going to call it there? Because it is now 10 o'clock.
Aye. I'm knackered.
Right. One thing I wanted to ask you, Rich. You know, you said that the footprints to the south were now running towards me.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, it can say me, but I can't say it.
Yes.
So, is it permissible to look like the Mad Archer but knowing full well that he's going to arrive, and basically wait until the feet are, I don't know, what's the range of a short sword? Say, 2 or 3 feet from me.
Yeah.
And then pull me short sword out and basically stick me short sword right in between the 2 boots at about gut height.
You would have to drop your bow. You wouldn't have time to pull your short sword and attack like that, because you'd have to be holding your action ready to attack, because it would be so you can drop your bow on your turn and then pull your short sword and then hold an action until something is within range of you,
right,
and then swing madly about, but you still attack at disadvantage.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. It was just to kind of try and lull him into a false sense of security, to make him think that I hadn't seen him, if you say what I mean. And then at the last minute,
okay,
no,
not a problem.
That's fine.
Right, so that's where we end mid combat. It's the ogre's turn to go next, and it's running towards Sanwin. May not be a bad thing.
I was going to say, I think I actually made sure I was out of its charge range because I'm terrified of getting splashed.
Yeah, but it's a large creature.
Yeah, so it's got 10 foot. I kind of measured it quite well, I think.
Yeah, so so thanks for playing again.
Cool. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. That was awesome.
Much